Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be learning how to apply a flawless foundation routine. So I can pull makeup looks all day long. I'm not an expert when it comes to trying to do like long drawn out wings. I can do wings, but long drawn out wings or some of the other, like you see 4 colors on the eye, I can pull off a makeup look that works for me and that's basic for me and that creates a very beautiful eye, or will even pull a compliment or two. But I've already kind of finished my eyes. I didn't want to focus on my eyes today because I wanted to only focus on the foundation routine. And for someone who has had a lot of texture on my skin in the past and who has struggled with acne and spots and things that were in my skin that I absolutely hated, it was important for me to find a routine that worked for my skin and to also find a routine that would not emphasize texture on my skin. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that, emphasizing texture. And when you're wearing highlighters and stuff like that. And guys, I use all drugstore foundations, so I'm only gonna pull from the foundations that I have here in front of me, but the winning foundation today that I'm gonna use is e.l.f. And I want you ladies to see and understand that these are drugstore foundations and they're really good. And I think at times we walk by them and we just kind of don't give them, if we don't think it's MAC or it's Fenty Beauty or one of the other foundations, then it's not worth our time. I am using this in the color 350. I could actually go down to the next shade, but I went on ahead and got this shade because I'm gonna bronze. I'm gonna actually do a cream bronzing like I normally do. And I really like this e.l.f. foundation. But first, anything before you get ready to prep your skin for foundation, create a barrier around your face, on your face, before you put on any foundation. A lot of the times when we're having skin problems, it's because we don't have a barrier between our skin and the foundation. So there are a few things that I like to go in with that I pull in and out of my routine for this time of year. So we're in the spring, but the temperatures are rising. And so we're in the 80s and 90s now here where I am in Texas, of course. And I'm definitely going to use an SPF or some type of sunscreen on my skin because I may be going to a picnic, or ain't nobody picnicking right now, but I may go to a picnic or I may be spending some time out in the sun. And this is the Anew, and this is the Avon Hydrofusion Daily Beauty Defense, and this is an SPF 50. I love the smell on this. It doesn't leave a white cast. Some of these you put on your face and it leaves a cast. It's very gentle on the skin, and I put this on before I put my makeup on. So this is very inexpensive. Find something that you like that you can wear under your makeup that, you know, will protect your skin, because skin cancer is real. So I definitely love the smell. Like I said, it doesn't leave a cast. It's something that it's lightweight. There's nothing heavy about it, or, you know, like I said, some of these sunscreens leave a cast and they don't do the best job with coverage. So SPF 50 is one of the highest ones out there. So ladies, get you some SPF to put underneath your makeup. So the next thing I'm gonna go in with is my primer serum. It doesn't matter if you wanna put this one first or put the SPF first. It's still going to create that barrier on your skin and not allow the makeup to sink in your skin too much. So just keep that in mind when you're, you know, wearing makeup and you want to protect your skin and you don't want those breakouts, those little breakouts that come in between. Since, you know, I've been home, I've not been wearing a lot of makeup, only when I do my videos. So it's just important that we protect our skin as much as we can. And ladies, don't sleep in your makeup. It's not your friend. Makeup is your enemy at nighttime, so don't sleep in your makeup. Once again, I went in with the Avon Anew Hydra Fusion, and then I love this Wet n Wild Primer Serum. It smells really good. It doesn't matter if this is number 1 and this is number 2. This could be number 1 and this could be number 2. So it's really just up to you. The next thing I'm gonna do is kind of smooth out any type of skin. You know, if I have pores right here around my T-zone and my nose. So I wanna make sure that I kind of blur those out so that the foundation looks very smooth in application and I'm not creating, you know, holes in my skin. So I want to put more on there to protect, and this is kind of my last step. So I'm actually going to go in with the e.l.f. Matte Oil Control Primer. I am very oily in the T-zone, so for me, I have to put something that is going to fight this oil and keep it at bay. This has tea tree oil in it, and I love it. It smells really good. It has a very, very light minty smell to it, but it's really good. And I've been enjoying using this. So I put this on. I have about this much in my skin. So I dot it just in my T-zone to blur. And I'm gonna kind of pull you guys in. This does really well with blurring out pores, and it sets the skin up for makeup. And this is, you know, it's a primer, so I'm kind of double priming, but I also want my skin to have the appearance of it being very smooth, and it doesn't have a lot of texture in my skin. So I fell in love with this e.l.f. foundation about a year ago, and I'm loving it. It's a flawless finish foundation. This is in the color 350 Toffee, and it's beautiful, and I just absolutely love it. On my eyes, I am wearing, it's a lot of e.l.f. today. I'm wearing the e.l.f. Mad for Matte Shadow Palette, and I'm also wearing one of the bite-size e.l.f. palettes. This is a $3 palette. The color quality is so amazing. This is in Cream and Sugar. I purchased mine at Target. Get your hands on this. I love this. There's another one I have right here, and this one is in the color Rose Water. So I haven't used this one yet, but I can use this one in another video. I just love this. This is stuff you can throw in your bag if you're traveling. So love this. This is kind of like has those purple pinky undertones. Love it. In another video, I'm gonna share how to match your foundation with your skin and how to find the foundation, not to be kind of scared to purchase a foundation and be afraid of color matching yourself. I was that person. I was afraid of color matching, but I did a little bit of quiz on my face, you know, tried to quiz my own self with my skin, what kind of undertones that I have, but we'll create a whole nother video for that. So guys, in order for me to warm up my foundation, I put it right here on the very back of my hand. So here, this is enough of foundation for a complete look. So I go in with a huge fluffy brush. I prefer a brush when I'm doing my foundation because it kind of stipples the foundation into my skin versus me rubbing. Guys, a lot of the times when you are rubbing, you are creating your own texture. So don't rub. Go in with your foundation and just tap. See, I'm going in and tapping. And I could have went down another color in this foundation, but it's okay. Because you know, like I always tell you guys, we'll fix it at the end, we'll come out in the wash. And one thing I have to say about this e.l.f. foundation, it really smells good. So we're gonna pull you in. I'm I'm gonna go here a little bit lower. So one thing I noticed about this foundation right off the bat, I know that I'm gonna have to set it. And it doesn't always mean that I'm gonna go in and just set it right away. I'm not gonna go in and set this foundation right away. So for me, the way my contouring works, I need to contour. So a lot of the times I find that if I go ahead and set it, it takes my contouring a lot more time and effort to do because the makeup is already kind of set, it's dried down, and it makes the contouring very difficult. So I'm gonna go ahead with my cream contour. Once again, we're with e.l.f. Guys, I'm telling you, e.l.f. has changed the game a little bit on us. This is the darkest or deepest contour, and e.l.f. does have this in a powder, but like I said, I prefer mine in a cream. So here I've used my cream quite a bit, but let's take a brush and we're gonna follow this jawline here. And see, I still have some on the brush from my last session, which was actually the day before yesterday. So we're going to go along our hairline because we want to warm, excuse me, we want to warm ourselves up. Make that fishy. Okay, so we're warming our skin up. And I don't make an E, I just follow my jawline. And warm up my cheek. Remember to go right here by your hairline because you want to even yourself out. And more as we get into the summer months, I will not do this as much just because I will be getting tanner as the months go by. So before I even, put on my concealer and then set that, I'm gonna go in with a I'm gonna go on with a powder bronzer, and this one is by Wet n Wild, and this is in the color Sunset Striptease. I love this color here. It's not my Physicians Formula, which is a little warmer than this, but it works. Find something that you like. There are a few bronzers that I rotate through, and I can share those. And I also can pick up an e.l.f. bronzer in the powder so you can see how that works, because they have it in the light and then they have it in the dark, in the medium, and then in the deep. So I tend to like mine more so in the deep. Now, when it comes to concealing your under eye area, before you really get into that, ladies, get you one of these brushes. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. This brush does the best job with getting in these tiny areas right here that you cannot reach with this. So make sure that you kind of grab one of these. This is a $3 brush. So you can kind of smooth out, because naturally we have wrinkles in these little areas, and that concealer can get very cakey in those little areas. And so we want to make sure that we can buff that out and that we can get our lives together right there underneath our eyes. So I'm actually going to use two concealers. One concealer that I love is a 16-Hour Camo Concealer by e.l.f. This is in the color Tan Latte. Really, really nice. This is a very creamy formula concealer. Guys, I don't do any triangles. I dot, I dot, I dot, I dot, I dot, I dot, I dot. That is it. You don't need to make triangles, dragging it all the way down your face. There was a time when I did that, and I don't do that anymore. I think our makeup practices just change over time. Just because concealer is a product that can get cakey, it can get clumpy, and so you don't want that. So I'm gonna brighten up this. This is called Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer. when I'm going for a camera ready, a picture ready look on my face, I go in, and this is lighter than the Camo Concealer. If you can see, that is a lot lighter. So I just touch in those areas so I stay pretty bright. Notice I have not said anything because I'm still working with wet products. So I'm gonna go in, this is a damp Sonia Kashuk beauty sponge, and I'm just going to press that in. So I love the way that it has pressed it out. I love the way that it blends. This is a really big fat beauty sponge. I love it. But before I set that under eye area, I'm gonna go in with that Flawless Concealer brush, and I'm going to make sure that I get under my eye area and smooth any of that out. It does a really good job of getting in those creases and smoothing this stuff out. Because we want this look to be as flawless as possible. Now, I am gonna set my under eye area with a collab. This is sold in Sally Beauty. This is called Set the Stage Ultra Fine Loose Setting Powder. I really love this stuff. This stuff is really nice. It's nice and bright. It doesn't leave any flashback. I just tap a little bit out onto my sponge, and then I set my under eye area. Now, one thing I want, and I just press that in. I don't have to put a ton, but I just press it in. And make sure you kind of carve out that under eye area. I mean, not under eye, right here at your cheek. Make sure you kind of carve that out a little. So that you have that effect that you bronze. And guys, even while that is sitting, and I'm only gonna let that sit for about another 45 seconds or so, I'm gonna go back in this area and just hit it one more time to make sure it's really nice and blended and contoured. Because remember, I could have went one shade down with my foundation, but I didn't, but it's okay. Like we said, it all comes out in the wash. We're gonna wipe off this powder. I cannot lie, I will not lie, this brush is so soft. Like, this is the best buffing brush, one of the best buffing brushes I've ever used. So this is an e.l.f. brush, and this is their powder brush. I wanna say it's probably one of the most expensive brushes they have. And I want to say this may be a $12 brush, but I will pay $12 before I pay $25 for this kind of brush. So I'm good to go with that. Guys, I'm going to go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills. I love this stuff. It's called the Cocktail Party. The brown color is called Vegas. The middle is Scorching. And the last color, the pinky, is Babe. I will go through all three of these. I dip my brush in all three. And go ahead and hit my cheeks with that. I don't reapply too much not foundation. I don't reapply too much blush, because enough comes off when you kind of stick this is very pigmented blush. What I'm saying is I don't want to look like a clown, so I'm going to put it on sparingly. But I'm going to buff it in, is what I'm saying. Don't want to look clown status. Ladies, we can't take on clown status. Anytime you think that maybe you have too much, just take your buffing brush and go into your setting powder and just kind of buff it over the blush, and then you kind of toned it down for the day. So, for somebody that wears blush a lot, this is kind of my thing, and wears makeup a lot. So Everything that I'm showing you has been very gentle on my skin. It's very smoothing. It has not created me any issues. There was one product I used, and it was by Milk Makeup. And once again, that was a gift from a student. And it's okay, well, let me just try it. No. I had broke out here. I had a bump, and it was so painful. And I had not broken out in quite some time. So I just didn't use Milk Makeup. That primer, it was that primer. It looks like, I think it's mixed with CBD, but it's a real tacky type primer. It's green, a green color like, so I didn't use that anymore. But we're getting ready to end this video, and I am going to spray myself with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Primer Water. And it's okay, I'm setting my skin and, you know, I'm setting all this makeup in place, and I don't want to have a powdery look. So, and it smells so good. My favorite in this line is coconut and that rose one. One little small makeup artist tip is I'm going to put on a little bit of highlighter. And guys, try not to put the highlighter like all over your skin. Try to just go here at the very high points of your cheek, because it keeps you from emphasizing texture. So if you have texture like down here, you don't want to put the highlighter. I'm going to bring you in again. So you see how smooth my skin is. You don't want to put the highlighter at points where it's going to emphasize too much texture. So if you have texture, just make sure you're at the very high points of your cheeks when you put the highlighter. I always put some on my nose. It kind of balances me out. And I'll pull you back. And the only thing left that we're gonna do is I'm going to put the Milani. I'm using the Milani Keep It Full Lip Plumper in Tropical Shine number 11. Love it. So I love all kind of colors in the summer. I will wear lipstick. I'm gonna be doing a video sharing, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different lipsticks from Revlon's Lustrous Lip Color line. And I'm gonna be sharing that in the IGTV video. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, my suggestion is head over there and give me a follow. And this is a flawless finishing foundation routine, and just sharing how you can achieve flawless skin and still enjoy wearing your makeup. So don't give up on the makeup. Remember, don't go to bed with it. It is not your friend. And also make sure that you are following on my social media channels. We're going to wrap this up. Also, let's see what we're forgetting. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button, that notification button down below. Be a part of this Williams family. And I'll see you guys again on my next video. Until we meet again, bye.